Hello everybody and welcome into Talladega Superspeedway OSR Thursday night doubleheader. We're going to start in the truck series and we're going to go over to the Xfinity series. Both races are going to be here at Talladega though. Right now, currently in qualifying, you're taking a look at Ron Morris Jr. in the 76 truck out of Columbia, South Carolina. Call Motorsports driver RMR owner. What kind of lap time he can put down here in qualifying. 3 minutes left. You see it up there. We'll pull a couple things up here for you, including the track map, which doesn't look like it's actually got the driver on it right now. Maybe not the best sign. Something on to refresh. Either way, though, take a look at a couple different drivers. Not the biggest field for this first race, but a lot of times you won't see a lot of the drivers show up until the second race. A lot of these guys like the later races. But take a look now at Danny Eshelman. Nice looking six truck. Seen Danny here the past couple nights, looking to see if he can get himself maybe a couple wins tonight. Being that doubleheader certainly is a possibility. Possibility for all these drivers, in fact. Looks like we have maybe around 10 to 15 drivers, if I had to guess, somewhere within that range. Might get more. Just have to play it by ear. There you go. You see it finally pop up on the track map. That's a good sign. I was kind of hoping we wouldn't have issues tonight. Doesn't look like we will. Michael Eden. Michael might be a new driver. I don't think he's completely new. I believe I have seen him before, just not in the races that I have broadcasted at least. And I don't think we're going to have a very busy broadcast tonight, just kind of a casual one. So if you're in here, we appreciate you joining in. Just sit back, relax, play it in the background. Let it roll, and then once you get to the end of this thing, we can watch all these drivers put on a show. I think Autumn was pretty excited tonight. She got to put on a doubleheader for a lot of these drivers. OSR, maybe not one of the as well known, if you will, money racing series. But if you're interested, let me know. I can slide you the Discord in the chat, or wherever you need it. Michael Eden's going to pull it off. Looks like currently sitting fourth for qualifying. Let's see who else we got on track. Sean Hill, very fast qualifier out of the McCall Motorsports camp. See what kind of lap he can put down. Would not be surprised at all to see the driver of the 77 right here capture the pole. See, riding that, not the top lane. Usually they won't, though. What they'll do is he'll ride that middle lane. Now he's going to dive it down, hug that yellow. Once he gets to the backstretch, he'll just wash up a tiny little bit. You see it right here. Actually decides to hug the yellow. Might be a new strategy here. Not a new strategy, if you will, but a lot of drivers will wash up just a little bit. So we'll see what lap Sean puts down. Take a look at another driver, Michael Dunn out of Riverside. Got Slow Ride in the chat. How's it going tonight? And did not have very many qualify. That is for sure. Go ahead, get rid of some of this. Get that starting grid out here. Let's see what we got. Starting first is going to be a McCall Motorsports driver. He must have got his lap down at the end. Didn't see it either way. Your pole sitter for tonight is going to be the 92 driver, John Ward. Starting second is going to be Danny Eshelman. Third, Ron Morris Jr. To his outside, Michael Eden. Fifth, it's going to be Michael Dunn. Sixth, Jeff Merck. Seventh, Sean Hill. Eighth is going to be Ambrose Kniebel. Ninth, Ken McCall Jr. 10th is going to be Mark Von Dell. And it looks like 10 drivers is actually what we're going to round the field out with for this first race. A lot of you might be saying, well, where's the field at? You know, but a lot of them are going to be in the second race, I do think. Looks like Jeff's in the chat. Jeff, I thought you were in the race. What happened? I want to see you out on the track, Jeff. Back up front, drivers just starting to roll now. John Ward, really like the look of that truck. Looks like he did get the McCall Motorsports stamps on it now. Make it look just a little bit better. talk a little bit about your race info here tonight. Ignore the Daytona International Speedway. Didn't get time to fix that right before. Fortunately, got here a little late. We are at Talladega Superspeedway. Some OSR racing. Doubleheader tonight. Both races going to be at Talladega Superspeedway. This one is in the Truck Series. The next one going to be in the Xfinity Series. Sunny outside. Wind not going to be a factor at all. But it's going to be a good little shootout here. 35 laps. This first one, 100% fuel. Drivers not sure if they can quite make it. It will be close. I know in Xfinity cars it's pretty close, but you can make it. Not sure if you can quite make it in trucks, especially if you are the leader. So we'll see what everyone decides to do here. McCall Motorsports has a pretty full field. I bet you they make up half or close to half of the field tonight. We got John Ward in first. That's McCall Motorsports driver. Ron Morris Jr. fourth. And then it looks like Sean Hill seventh. Ken McCall 9th currently. Mark Vondell 10th. So it looks like that is going to be 4 of those drivers, or 5 rather, excuse me. Autumn herself is not racing, and that is only because she is currently the host. Danny Eshelman, I'll tell you what, been seeing him pick up some speed in qualifying here as of recently, but John Ward still took the pole. What I was just going to get to, though, was the other night, Danny, I believe, got pole or he got second. And this is starting to become a little bit more of a regular ordeal here for Eshelman. See what he can do tonight. Kind of due for a win here. Pace car does pull off. 35 lap race for one of race 2. John Ward rolls into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. We're racing at Talladega. Side by side, it looks like the 18 maybe misses a shift. Michael Eden falling back in a hurry. Remember, no 3 wide rule, at least that I know of here in OSR. These cats are going to start going at it as soon as they want. Watch that 77 of Sean Hill. Lead truck on the outside. Jeff Merck 3 wide with Michael Eden. They sort it out. And these drivers all maybe going to hop in line. We'll see what everyone decides to do. Might be a little bit of a fuel mileage race in this first one. The second one, you will not see too much of this, as I need to turn the desktop audio down a little bit. Either way, though, you won't see a lot of this single file action that we're seeing right now in the second one. Out of turn 4 for the first time. Sean Hill already got dead even. He's got Jeff Merck pushing only 2 trucks, and they're able to do it. They get the lead. We'll see what Sean Hill decides to do. Tries to drag Jeff Merck with him. Just does. Slides right down in front of John Ward, who wants no part of it. Goes back to the outside. He's going to drag his teammate, Ron Morris Jr., behind him. Lap 1 is going to go to Sean Hill in the 77, though. Gets the assist from Jeff Merck. To the outside, 76 fighting hard. Danny Eshelman jumps to the outside, the 62. I believe that is, I don't want to accidentally mess it up. Is this? Yep, Michael Dunn in the 62. Michael, a driver that I haven't seen out here too much. Behind him, last night's winner in the FEG race, though, Ken McCall Jr. He's got some momentum on his side, and he's got a couple teammates in the field. I guess most of the field, rather, is his teammates tonight. This is all just that practice, if you will, for FEG Speedway. A lot of these drivers that are in here, well, McCall Motorsports, we know we will see most of those drivers no matter what race it is. Those guys love racing in any money race they can get themselves in. Some of these other drivers we see in here, though, just all getting ready for Speed Weeks, or Speed Week, rather, which does start next week. We'll talk more about that in the later race, or if we have a caution in this one. Right, looking at from the gearbox of Ron Morris Jr. See his teammate Ken McCall Jr. staying back, saving a little fuel. We can actually ride on board here with Ken. See if we can hear that throttle, see how he's playing with it. You can kind of hear it. Doesn't have to stay fully on the throttle. And that is important. He's saving more fuel than some of these drivers up front, such as Sean Hill. Sean definitely likes to keep himself out in front, though. Doesn't care if it's going to be a fuel mileage race right now. That 77 truck up front. Jeff Merck's been behind him since the drop of the green. They made a nice move on the outside. They've been here ever since. Out of turn 4, everybody's singled out pretty much now. Don't think we've had any issues. Michael Eden, who we saw maybe miss a shift, fell to the back, but he's hanging strong in the draft still. Right in front of him, driver the 04, Ambrose Knievel, excuse me. And I'll tell you what, it looks like slowly but surely McCall Motorsports is starting to line themselves up. That's going to be important here. Especially if there is a pit stop. Like I said, it will be really, really close. Don't think they can make it all the way, but maybe some of the ones such as the 03 truck who are saving really hard, they might be able to. It's going to be really, really close. Looks like we do only have 3 viewers so far tonight. I do want to thank all 3, though. It is a Thursday. Didn't really announce it. Kind of a last-minute stream. Means a lot to these drivers. Everybody coming out to watch them. And it actually means a lot to these drivers as they like watching these the day after. So just glad to be putting this on for everybody. Next, we do have some big things coming up for Ghost Racing Network. Just stay tuned for those. Some of them coming up just around... A lot of stuff actually kind of starting in February here, both with Ghost Racing Network and sim racing in general. New events, couple new money racing series starting up. Still nobody making a move here as we are coming to 7 laps through the 35. Couple bumps to the travel there. You see the trucks, they'll wiggle around just a little bit. Single file isn't really a worry, but if these guys get double file, maybe even 3 wide once we get towards the end, that's going to start to play a little bit of a factor here. See some of the speeds all these drivers are running right now. So not going too quick. Sean Hill with the 52.3. More specifically, though, we'll take a look at his actual speed, 184. Looks like he's going to get up to 186 top speed. Once they get up to racing, we can see speeds upwards of 190, especially when you actually catch onto the draft. Now, that's something we're going to see right now. But you see on the track, or sorry, excuse me, I was going to pull up the track map, but it looks like it doesn't want to work right now, so we'll have to work on that later as well. Sean Hill still leading here at Talladega. If you are just tuning in, watching OSR Money Racing. It's a doubleheader night. $510 in total payouts. I believe it is $240 for this first one. And then the one after this, which I believe we will get a couple more drivers if I had to guess, since it is the later one. $270 payout. Seeing a little bit of a trend here recently in sim racing with a lot of promoters doing these double headers. It works out well. The drivers really enjoy these double headers. They want to keep racing drivers such as the 03 truck, Ken McCall Jr. He did tell me once, if you don't see him in a race, there's probably an issue. Here we go. We are going to see pit stops. Was not ready for this, I'll tell you that much. A lot of guys locking them up, though. Ooh, Danny Eschelman's going to go in the grass. One truck has to pull back onto the track. The 6, you see him back there, is going to get it rolling now. Gets it back onto the pavement. Unfortunately, that is an unfortunate time to do that. He may not get a caution. Let's see who wins the race out of pit road. John Ward pulls into his pit stall, followed by Ron Morris Jr. Sean Hill came in first, and we're going to go back and take a look at what happened. But first, let's see who wins the race. Ooh, it's going to be a drag race. Sean Hill gets a better launch. John Ward. Got 1, 2. Let's see. First, before we go back to that, I guess, let's see if anyone else decides to pit. That will be the only pit stop. The only 2 trucks still left out here is going to be Jeff Merck and Michael Dunn. Those 2 going to have to pit this lap, I would assume. Otherwise, they might be in a lot of trouble. And you see it there, Jeff Merck going to pull down So is Michael Dunn, so they will have each other, bearing no mess-ups on the entry to pit road. It looks like they both get in very smoothly. Then you see the truck that had to avoid the crashing last time just now making the way down pit road. I'm not sure who exactly that is. That's Michael Eden. But let's go back, see what happens here. Danny, I think, just got a little too hot. We see it a lot of times here at Talladega. It's hard to get these trucks woed up. Not as hard to get these woed up as it is the Xfinity cars. But probably a good time. Danny's got another chance. But you see the smoke here. So let's go to a wider camera view. I'll tell you what, that's what we'll do. Because there was smoke everywhere right here. We'll go to TV3. Actually, I don't really like that cam. How about... Just can't seem to get the view I'm looking for. Blimp. So watch the tire smoke here to start. You just can't really see it there. There you go. You see it looks like the 59, the 76. Mainly the 59 here is locking it up. And then you see the 6. Just now crossing. He's already in the yellow, and he's going to get in the grass right here. Yeah, just the front all the way locked up. Ambrose Knievel looks like he does a pretty good job getting on. We'll give Danny some credit, though. A lot of times when you get in that grass, you'll completely spin. Does a good job not doing that. He's just going to go for a long slide here. Drive it back down pit road and finish his stop. We'll go back live, though, now. So just going to shuffle a couple things up. McCall Motorsports got to be super happy right now. Looks like they have 4 out of their 5 drivers right now. All up in this pack. Not too far behind is Danny Eshelman, who is currently a lap down. However, Ambrose Knievel also on a lap down. Must have got busted for speeding by himself. You see it there. Jeff Merck's going to try to hook up with Danny and see if they can't get up there before it's too late. They got to stay in the draft. I don't know if they're going to be able to, though. Looks like currently the gap is falling. Jeff Merck has gotten to the bumper now, but it might be just too little, too late. Usually it seems like you need 3 trucks. Get enough progress, and you got to be within 1.5 seconds to keep the draft, and they are just not right now. 2.72 and falling, so bearing no cautions now. This is going to be a battle between these 4. Everyone else all spread out. Actually, look back at some of these drivers. Michael Eden, we saw have to avoid the wreck. He's going to be back here because of that. Mark Von Dell, one of the McCall Motorsports drivers that wasn't able to come out with his teammates. You see he is going to probably go a lap down here. However, he will tag onto the back. And everyone in that main draft is going to be a McCall Motorsports driver. That would also put Mark Von Dell in prime position. Oh, as we see the 03 Ken McCall Jr. hop out of line. They have gotten just a little too close to John Ward's bumper. Didn't want to hit him, spin him out on accident. Ken is one of the drivers up here that knows they're in position right now to get it done, bearing no major screw-ups, if you will. They're just going to ride around here until we get to the last lap. See what happens. I have to go grab something real quick, so I'm going to go to break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Back live at Talladega Superspeedway OSR Money Racing doubleheader. Still out front is Sean Hill, followed by John Ward second, Ken McCall Jr. third, and Ron Morris Jr. fourth. That 59 truck is another McCall Motorsports teammate, Mark Londell. However, I'm trying to figure out here. Looks like Jeff Merck is going a lap down right here. I'm not sure what happened to Jeff. We saw him up running with Danny Eshelman. All of a sudden falls back. The payout for this first race, I will check to make sure. But I believe it is top 4. If that's the case, McCall Motorsports could sweep it right here. Trying to check, and it looks like, yes, indeed, it is top 4. For this first race, it was based on 20. We have 10, so it's going to be half of that. So the total payout for this first race is $120. We're seeing just a little bit of dice in here. Jeff Merck going to make these guys battle if he can, try to keep his lap the hard way. It looks like they are coming up on another lap truck. And that is going to be, I believe, Michael. Looks like one of the Michaels. Michael Eden, I believe. Yep. Going to be Michael Eden, the 18 truck. We're coming to 19 to go. I think a little different. I know it may be a little boring at home. I'll tell you what, it is not boring for these teammates. They like where they're at. But I was going to say, we probably won't see much racing. And I take it back. Just as I say that, Ken McCall Jr. jumps to the outside. He's going to push this 60 truck. That 60 gets the lead here. We'll see if he decides to pull Ken McCall Jr. with him. Ken using that truck as a pick almost. If he can get Jeff far enough out in front where they can both drop down, he will not have to worry about the 60 being the lead truck. Either way, though, Jeff Merck is going to drop down. That puts him back on the lead lap currently. And that is going to move Michael Eden. I'm not sure if he went 2 down there, if he's still 1 down to the lucky dog position for now. We'll see if Sean Hill decides to stay where he's at. Ken McCall Jr. jumped out, went with him. I thought maybe he'd stay out there. Didn't look like any of his teammates went with him. We'll see what they decide to do here, if they're going to put on a little race between the teammates or if they'll save it for that white flag lap. Then we'll see them start going at it. Right after this race, we will stay here. We'll just go to a short intermission. The next lobby sets up. I believe the green flag for that race is 10:55. I can check that as well just to make sure so we don't leave anybody confused. Server does open at 10:30. Race will start at 10:55. That means this... We'll probably be back from break around 10:50. Probably around 10:50. Maybe a little earlier so that we can obviously catch qualifying. Hoping, though, that race does have a couple more drivers in it. It will have no pit stops. Sometimes that can attract a couple more guys to get in here. It gives everybody a little bit more of a fair chance. Nonetheless, though, we all like pit stops. Jeff Merck now actually jumps to the outside. He's going to fall back. Not exactly sure the reason for this. Michael Eden kind of riding around the top lane, though, as well. See if those two tag on. Try to get these cats to race a little bit. Looks like BB just got in here. I believe that is Andrew. How's it going? I know that. Is that Andrew? I can't tell if that's Andrew or Brian Bassett. Either way, good to see you in here, BB. Thank you for tuning in, man. Only got 3 tonight. Small field, looks like Duck Duck Goose also in here. Rooting for Ron Morris tonight. It's a good driver to pick. Playing the patience game. Is BB, I kind of want to know, BB, is that Brian Bassett or Andrew? I'm not sure. I think that's Brian Bassett. Could be wrong, though. It's almost a little nice once in a while to have these little bit of smaller room broadcasts. We can interact with the chat a little bit more. Don't get the opportunity to do that when we have these big fields and the action is just so exciting. It seems like you don't even get to take a breath. But we will have some exciting announcements. I'm not sure when the next broadcast is. I did hear some word. I may be doing a broadcast next Thursday, but before that would be FEG Speed Week, which we are going to bring up for sure. in the next race, because that's going to be potentially one of the biggest events of the year outside the Podium 500. Mark Vondel jumps to the outside. A couple more lap trucks now that tagged onto the back. Going to get a little racy with it. Jeff Merck, Mark Vondel. And that is going to be the 10, well, 62 for what you guys can see. Michael Dunn. Looks like Michael Eden decided to fall back again. Maybe pit. A little bit of side-by-side action, though, now picking up. You see Mark Vondel actually goes 3 wide on Jeff Merck here. These two are battling out for the lucky dog. We'll see who Michael Dunn decides to go with. He's actually going to drop back down to the inside. Says, heck with both of you. I'll just take this lucky dog myself. They are coming up on the lap car of Ambrose Kniebel. Ambrose, and this is what you kind of like. You hate it for the guys that are going laps down or are a lap down. Ooh, we see Ron Morris wash it just a little bit there. But they tag onto the back of these packs. They make them a little racy. Ambrose is no pushover. Ambrose is going to make sure makes these drivers work for it. John Ward got to be feeling pretty comfortable sitting behind his teammate. Wouldn't be surprised, though, if he does decide to jump out at the end, but no reason to right now. You know what I'm saying? Just stay where he's at. Alex Hill has been looking real steady up front, though, all night. Didn't start on the pole. A little bit of a rarity. Usually does. John Ward actually started on the pole. Those two have switched. It seems to be working out pretty well. Ken McCall Jr. not really pushing. No need to. He knows he's got a teammate behind him. Only those 4 trucks, those first 4 trucks you see on the inside line are McCall Motorsports, and those are the only trucks currently like up there, if you will. Everyone else, the 60, the 59, the 04, 62, those are all lap trucks. So they are currently not playing a role, and you actually can see it on the tower. We only have 4 trucks on the lead lap at the moment. Danny Eshelman, I think he decided to retire maybe after that incident at pit road. Ambrose gets my driver of the year vote. Certainly. I might have to agree with you on that, BB. Ambrose definitely gets a participation award. He's got to be up there in the most money races of all time. Up there with the 03 of Ken McCall Jr. These two in here probably have the most races I can think of. Mark Vondel now jumps back to the outside. He's got the 62 Michael Dunn in tow. Ken McCall Jr. now jumps to the top lane. We are going to start seeing a little bit. Oh, no, Sean Hill across the grass. What happened? Oh, he's going to try to keep it together. He does. What a save from the 77. Unfortunately, no. What happened to the McCall Motorsports? They were going to finish 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no. Let's take a look back at it. Almost caught me off guard. Wasn't expecting it. They had it in the bag. The second night in a row. The other night it was internet issues tonight. And uh-oh. This could, ooh, this is going to hurt some feelings right here, ladies and gentlemen. We might have some fights on pit road in between the break. Jeff Merck, one of the veterans in here pushing in the tri-oval. He knows that's a no-no. Sean Hill sure is going to remember that one for the second race. You see it right here. We'll play it slow. Can't do it. The tri-oval, he's just too unstable in the truck. Gets him in the right rear. Just a little offset. He's not even that bad either. Just trying to push the 77. Gets a bit offset. Oh, spins him through the grass. Let's give Sean Hill some credit right here. Watch this save, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this. I thought right here he was going to hit this wall pretty hard. It was coming up fast. Whoo! Darts that thing back to the right. Keeps it together. Unfortunately, though, not going to get the caution. We'll go back up front. I was thinking about riding on board with Jeff Merck, but I feel like it's pretty cut and dry. Looks like we got 7 up in the chat, so if you are just tuning in, you are watching OSR Money Race, and we're coming to 10 to go this time. A little bit of a shake-up now. Does shuffle Sean Hill to 4. Doesn't have to worry about losing any more positions. He will stay in the money, bearing he doesn't somehow go a lap down before the end of this thing. But either way, OSR doubleheader tonight. This is the first of 2 races. After this, we're going late night racing. That race will start at 10:55. Think we'll get a couple more drivers in that one. No pit stops. 25 lap shootout. Same track, but the Xfinity cars. Before we get to that, we got some business to settle here. John Ward, now your current leader after Sean Hill Got spun by the 60 of Jeff Merck. Not sure what happened to Jeff here. Oh, Jeff has parked it. Not sure if this was by choice. Sitting on pit road. Tell you what, there's been some interesting moments the last couple nights. I don't even know how to explain them. Just things going on that you just don't really expect, I guess. Either way, John Ward, Call Motorsports driver out of Georgia, feeling very comfortable right now. Ken McCall Jr., don't rule him out for making a move. These guys want to go for the win, and they know they don't have to worry about getting past, getting themselves out of the money. They're all guaranteed in the money as long as we don't get a caution. As we say that, 62, Michael Dunn jumps to the outside, currently a lap truck. Gonna try to make these guys race for it, though. Ambrose Knievel been staying nice and tight on that inside line. Not sure if Mark will try to get racy. BB says, best interview ever, Austin. I hope you saved it that night. He is referring to the Ambrose interview. I agree. That was my favorite interview that I've ever done since I've been broadcasting. Ambrose already one of the greatest guys that you can find when it comes to the online community and iRacing. Moments like that just add to it. 8 to go here at Talladega. John Ward still leading. Ken McCall Jr. second. Ron Morris Jr. third, and fourth, Sean Hill 20 seconds back, still falling. He's not going to have to worry about going a lap down before this is over. Doesn't have any damage, and that really helped him. I know he might be thinking in hindsight, what good is the save? His race is over. He doesn't have a chance to get in the win, but let me tell you something. If he hit that wall there, his race is done. He gets big damage. He goes a lap down. He loses that fourth and final money spot to Michael Dunn. Good job there. Definitely think he's not going to be too happy, though, with Jeff Merck. Seven to go this time. Everybody kind of calming back down. It looked like it got a little dicey there for a while. We had Jeff Merck up here. We had Michael Dunn, Mark Vondell. They were all kind of getting racy. After that incident with Sean Hill, I think everybody said, okay, let's calm it down, fellas. We got to make it to the end of this thing. However, Michael Dunn, lap down truck, he could care less if they decide to pile up right now. He's trying to get his lap back the hard way. And although Michael's a lap down, let's give him a shout out. He's up here trying. No point. Try to give everybody a shout out if we can. Some point throughout the broadcast. Been a little bit of an incident-filled night for some of these guys. Danny Eichelman off track. Jeff Merck in the pits. Ambrose Knievel a lap down. Michael Eden a lap down. Mark Vondell a lap down. And Michael Dunn a lap down. So with that, we only have 4 trucks on the lead lap. How often do you get to say that? Not too often, I'll tell you that much. 62 making some slow progress on that outside. I think if he could get up maybe to where the 76 is, that might tempt the 03. Ken McCall Jr. jump to the outside. I think either way, if he goes, he might get some help from his teammate Ron Morris Jr. That would put John Ward all by himself. John's got to be thinking right now, what's he going to do if he sees that move? Does he block? I think sometimes with your teammate, maybe you think twice about it. Just let him have it. He knows there's another race after this. And if you know anything about Ken McCall Jr., you know that if you're Ron Morris Jr., you push him to the win. He's probably going to be thinking a little bit more carefully about if he wants to pass you next race or not. Ken's got that mindset. If you give him a favor, he will give you a favor back. 5 to go this time. Nobody making a move yet. But he's still staying pretty checked. Don't think we'll see anything till the last lap. Xfinity cars, I don't know. I guess anybody in the chat, let me know what you think. I personally like the trucks better. I do hear from some people that the Xfinity cars can push harder, and I kind of agree with that. I just feel like the racing is sometimes better in the trucks. Ambrose Knievel, we saw jump out of line, falls to the back now. The next gens, though, not the best car overall, but I think sometimes their Super Speedway package is a little bit underrated. You can link up and absolutely fly with somebody. You can push in the corners a little bit with those. A lot of things you can do that you can't do in the trucks or Xfinity. which kind of reminds me, we haven't advertised in a while, but Ron Morris Jr. has the prelude to the 500. That's another one of those big races in sim racing he's putting on this year. It's got a lot of sponsors, I believe one from Butt Kicker, one from 811 Dig, and then I thought I heard that somebody put up some extra cash into the pot. That's going to be in the next gen's big prizes, though. Go get yourself involved. If you need any information, just let me know in the chat. If you are watching, just do me a favor. If nothing else, just hit that like button. If you're semi-enjoying what you're watching, it helps us out a lot. Bryce does a good job for this channel. Show him some support. Side by side, though, now dead even. As we were talking, we got to get back to the action. Ambrose Kniebel, Mark Vondel, the 62. Those three are all lap trucks, but they all want the lucky dog. They're going to try to go to the front here. We'll see what Ken McCall Jr. and Ron Morris decide to do about it if they stay tucked behind their teammate John Ward. See, Mark Vondel is going to go back down low. That'll take away the momentum from the top line. Side by side into turn 3. We'll be coming to 2 to go next time. Remember, once we get that white flag, no more cautions. Don't think we'll have to worry about it either way tonight. It's only, it looks like a 6-truck pack up here at the front. Sean Hill, 30-something seconds back. Still shouldn't have to worry about going a lap down. We'll check it one more time. Be safe. You see, it looks like working his way out of turn 2 now. Yep, he's going to be just fine. John Ward maybe thinking, what's his teammate going to do here? Ooh, we see Mark Vondel throw just a little bit of a late block. 62 thinking about taking him 3 wide now. Tucks back down behind him. There goes the 3 wide move. They see Mark Vondel blinking a little bit. Don't like what they see. Meanwhile, they're coming up on another lap car. Believe that is Michael Eden up there in the picture. Not sure if they'll get him, but if they catch that draft at the right time, could play a role potentially here. Actually would help John Ward out. I don't know if they'll quite catch him before they get to the checkered flag, but out of turn 4. John Ward coming to the tribal. He's going to take the white flag this time. 62 jumps out of line again, followed by Ambrose Kniebel. We'll see what is Ken McCall Jr. going to try to do here. One more time around Talladega on the Truck Series. They did catch that 18 a little quick. That's going to give the outside a little bit of draft. They decide not to use it. They're sticking the middle lane. Mark Vondel, McCall Motorsports teammate's going to stay low. Doesn't want to put his teammates in any jeopardy. Down the backstretch for the final time. John Ward still keeping everybody in line. Now the 03 pushing real hard on the 92's bumper. What will he do when we get into the trial? Does he stay behind? Does he make a move? Side by side, 62 and the 04 starting to fall back now. Not going to be a factor. The 03 is going to do it. When's he going to do it? Hasn't shown his hand just yet. Now he goes to the outside. He gets Ron Morris Jr. He takes it 3 wide now. John Ward with no help to the bottom in the tribal. Side by side, coming to the line, the help up top. Ron Morris Jr. is going to win at Talladega. How about that for a last lap pass? Ron Morris Jr. gets it done. Gets himself a win. I thought he'd go with his teammate. Instead, he took him 3 wide. Got help from the lap trucks. Either way, that gives McCall Motorsports a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish. Got to think they're pretty happy with that. And I'll tell you what, we might see a 4-truck burnout here. Not sure if Sean Hill will join in that. He may not be too happy of a fella right now. As everybody knows, normally we would interview the top 3. I think tonight, though, with it being this smaller field, for this first race at least, we're just going to interview the winner. Let's see what they decide to do here. Ken McCall Jr. bringing it over here. Sean Hill just going to park it, though. Ken McCall Jr. also going to park it. We'll see. We might see a double burnout if nothing else. And it looks like that is indeed what we're going to see here. 76 and the 03 burning it down here at Talladega. Pretty clean race. We did not see any cautions. Or did see a couple guys get themselves out off their own mistakes. Sean Hill, one of the drivers that looked like was going to win it, found himself in a bad situation there at the end. Take a look at your results in race 1 of 2 tonight. Winner was Ron Morris Jr. Second, John Ward third, Ken McCall Jr. Fourth, Sean Hill fifth, Michael Dunn sixth, Mark Von Dell seventh, Ambrose Kniebel eighth, Michael Eden ninth, Jeff Merck in 10th, Danny Eshelman. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go find your winner and get an interview from him. We'll be right back. And we are here with your race winner, Ron Morris Jr. in the 76 truck. Ron, you got a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, first, Ron, we didn't have a lot of people in the chat, but the ones we did were cheering for you tonight. I thought you were going to push your teammate in the 03 truck, but you took it 3 wide and got it yourself. What was going through your mind there coming through the tri-oval?
Hey, we wanted to race it out at the end. Yeah, we had a lap on the field, so we just wanted to race it out. And luckily, I got the help from behind to push me through. I think everybody knew I needed a win. It's been a while. I've had a pretty good little slump, so it's kind of nice to get out of a slump and get a win.
Well, you were due for a win for sure. Maybe a little bit more importantly, McCall Motorsports finishes 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think about that?
Heck yeah, McCullough Motorsports, man. That's awesome. I appreciate the teamwork, the team help, and yeah, it's fun running with these guys. Enjoy it.
All right, before we let you go, is there anyone you want to shout out or thank?
Just thank you for broadcasting, man. Look forward to going back tomorrow and looking at this, and thank McCullough Motorsports and my other team, WJM Motorsports, and Garza Law Firm, Babs Towing or Babs Body Shop. Just thank all sponsors and Autumn for putting this on. It's a good show. I know how much work it takes to put one of these things on, and she does a good job. So.
All right, sounds good. That was your race winner, Ron Morris Jr. in the 76 truck. All right, and that is going to wrap us up for race 1 and 2. Don't forget, we do have a second race. Don't go anywhere. Well, I suppose you could go somewhere until we get that second race underway. We are going to keep the stream live. What we're going to do, though, is just go to the starting soon screen, take a break. We will be back. I'll put a timer on for everyone. We should be back somewhere around 10, because the race starts at 10:55. So we should be back somewhere around 10:47 to 10:50 if I had to guess. So that should give us about 25 minutes. So we're going to take a break then. We can try to roll some music if you guys want. I think that's what we'll try to do. We'll try to run some music during that time. We'll see when we come back.
Here we are, we locked down in different cities, and our virtual connection falls apart. Guess it's been too many years since California. Now the memories of us is all I have. See, one day I'm gonna reach ya, take a plane for many miles. We pretend that time didn't pass us by when we're on Mulholland Drive. I know it won't be long before dawn, gotta be patient for a while. Someday we'll look at stars in this same sky, when I'm on the other side. Take me back to the life that we once knew, when the walls weren't closing in like they are now. Cause it's been too many years since California. I wish I could get there, I don't know how. See, one day I'm gonna reach ya, take a plane for many miles. We pretend that time didn't pass us by when we're on Mulholland Drive. I know it won't be long before dawn, gotta be patient for a while. Someday we'll look at stars in the same sky, when I'm on the other side. Oh.
Just your stare won't ever let me go. I'm here only 'cause I'm aware with you is better than all alone. Oh, oh, oh. Say what you're dying to say. No, oh, tonight we're stars, but we'll fade away. Go on, light me up. Oh, go on, light me up while we're golden. Come on, light me up. Oh, come on, light me up before we come down. Stars will always come down. So before we come down, down, down. Go on, light me up. Oh, go on, light me up while we're golden. Come on, light me up. Oh, come on, light me up before we come down. Go on, light me up. Oh, go on, light me up while we're golden. Come on, light me up. Oh, come on, light me up before we come down. Show me where all your secrets lie and where your wild things go. Time ain't ever been on our side, so between now and till we go home. Oh, oh, oh. Say what you're dying to say. No, oh, oh. Tonight we're stars, but we'll fade away. Oh, go on, light me up. Oh, go on, light me up while we're golden. Come on, light me up. Oh, come on, light me up before we come down. Stars will always come down. So before we come down, down, down. Stars will always come down. Go on, light me up. Oh, go on, light me up while we're golden. Come on, light me up. Oh, come on, light me up before we come down. Go on, light me up. Oh, go on, light me up while we're golden. Come on, light me up. Oh, come on, light me up before we come down.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explore right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Hello everybody and welcome back into Talladega Superspeedway. It's the second race tonight of the OSR doubleheader. This time we're in the Xfinity cars. Driver's still finishing up practice. We'll go ahead and pull up the tower for everybody here. Which looks like doesn't want to cooperate right now. Imagine that. Sure enough. So what we're going to do before we get started here, we're going to back out of this thing, reset it, and we'll be right back. Stay with us. And we are back. You see the tower working now. Your top left. Oh no, the 8. That's Sean Hill. Flips that car in practice here. Luckily, we are still only in practice. No big deal. See Danny Eschelman out of here getting some practice in with a drop of the green. Oh, and he's actually going to T-bone Sean Hill. My goodness. These boys letting some of that anger out from the last race. James Kaufman looks like made his way into this race. So we do have a couple different drivers. Almost like some people just swapped places. I think we are going to have at least one, if not a couple to a few more than we had last race. So that's a good sign. And this one should be a bit more exciting to call, if nothing else. A little more exciting to watch. There's not going to be any pit stops required in this race. We'll talk a bit more when we go over race info, but it is just going to be a straight 25-lap shootout. Dash for cash. Who wants it? It's up for grabs. One of these drivers is going to take it tonight. This race would have been a $270 payout. That was based off 20 cars. It's going to probably be a couple cars over half of that. So the payout will scale down a bit. But it is to be expected. Thursday night money racing. Thank everybody that's here. Like I said, I know it's kind of a slow night out there in the audience. Didn't necessarily plan on the stream. Kind of a little bit of a last minute one. But either way, glad to put it on for all these guys. Come out here, pay good money, put on a good show. Qualifying is now going to get underway. See who decides to go out first. Solo qualifying again. We saw it in the truck race. Which if you missed, you can go back earlier in this video and catch. Maybe a little bit slow through the middle, but I'll tell you what, that last lap did not disappoint. Ron Morris in the 76 truck. Now car, but he got it done. Took his teammates 3 wide in the trial, but got some help from some lappers. And got the win from McCall Motorsports, who also, to note, finished 1, 2, 3, 4. How about that? Those guys are on a roll. See how long they can keep it going. Take a look at some different drivers for qualifying this time. So we'll go to Jeff D. Merck. Trying to keep that thing from spinning out as he gets up to speed here. Go back to Ron Morris Jr. Nobody been able to put down a lap just yet. They're still all getting up to speed. That's why nothing's popped up on that tower to your left. Just give it a little bit of time here. Ron Morris Jr. going to start his actual lap. This time you see him getting a little bit close to the yellow. He won't actually get onto it though until he gets down to turn 1. That's when we'll see him start hugging that yellow as good and tight as he can. There he goes, dives down to it. See who else we got out on track. I saw James Kaufman. He's getting up to speed. Team 3 drivers. Got 3 minutes left. I don't know if he's got enough time. Ken McCall Jr. Doug Pierce. 39 car. Boston Bruins fan. Tough to look about. Danny Eschelman had a little bit of an issue last race. Was running pretty strong. Until unfortunately pit road got him. One of the things that gets a lot of these drivers, got into the grass, couldn't recover, had to park it the rest of the race. Shouldn't have to worry about it this time with there being no pits, no pit stops rather. And I'm looking down here and it looks like we do have a fair amount more drivers than we had last race. So if you're just joining in, you didn't like what you saw last race, you might like what you see in this one. Well, everybody is finishing up qualifying though. Get some of these announcements, get them out of the way. The first one, I know we've talked about it a lot, but it's just such a big event. How can you not? FEG PC Speed Week starting next week. Wednesday, February 1st in the ARCA Menard Series. Thursday, it's going to be in the Xfinity Series. And Friday, the big race, in the Truck Series. You can catch those first 2 races here on Ghost Racing Network. I will be calling the shots for those on Friday. Go over to OSRN. Joe White will be taking over. If you're a driver watching this, you want to get yourself involved in Speed Weeks, let me know. Get you that FVG Discord in the chat, no problemo. Let's go back live. Jeff Merck's going to pull off. Currently, Ken McCall Jr. is sitting on top of the board. Jeff Merck got second. We'll see what Sean Hill can put down. Sean, usually a fast qualifier. Didn't see it in the last race. Had to start back. Either way, got himself to the front. Did get turned by the 60. Something that looks similar to what he just did there. This time he does it by himself, though. Not sure if he'll be too happy with the 60 during this race or not. Sometimes these drivers have long memories. Sometimes they have short ones. Just depends on how the situation will play out for them. $50 seconds left here in qualifying. A lot of drivers chose not to qualify, it does look like. Not too surprised about that. Wanted to check something here on the ticker. That's why I'm bringing it up real quick. All right, I'll go back to the tower. 30 seconds left. Ken McCall Jr. I thought he had it when they were coming through the trial of the last race. Got taken away, though. His teammate snatched it. Ron Morris Jr. in the 76. We'll probably talk about him a little bit more throughout this race. But with 10 seconds left here in qualifying, everybody is done off the track. And we do not have only 8 cars. We got more. They just decided not to qualify. 25 laps. They know that they don't have to pit. They know it might be some chaos. Pretty excited for this one. Didn't see as much action as I thought we may have in the earlier one, but we're certainly going to see some now. We will take a look here at your starting grid. First place, taking the pole for this one, is going to be Ken McCall Jr. Starting in second is going to be Jeff Merck. Third place, Sean Hill. Fourth, Danny Eshelman. Fifth, Dylan Jones. Sixth, Ron Morris Jr., winner of last race. Seventh, James Kaufman. Eighth, Doug Pierce. Ninth, this is a new driver, so I do apologize about the last name. Andrew Varner. We're just going to call him Andrew for now. I don't want to butcher it too bad. 10th, Daniel Eberhardt. 11th, John Ward. 12th, Autumn Koger. She's going to race in her own race. That's right. David Sheets, 13th. 14th, Mark Von Dell, and that will round out the field. So 4 driver gain of what we had last race. Not bad at all. I always said if you have over 12 drivers, you can have yourself a race. Once you get to 15, you can have yourself a good race. Anything over 20, that's a great race. We're certainly going to have a good race tonight as we're going to be seeing some of the heavy hitters such as Daniel Eberhardt. He does have his teammate Dylan Jones. Those two, I bet you they'll be making their way up here in a hurry. You got drivers such as Jeff Merck, Ken McCall Jr., some of the veterans going to be trying to hold those guys off. See if they can do it. Guess before we get your tower going, we should talk about your race info. Talladega Superspeedway OSR Money Racing. We don't got notes on tonight because it's just short and sweet. The OSR 67 miler, 25 laps around this giant bank super speedway. Wind looks like 2 miles an hour, not a factor. Nice weather outside, partly cloudy. We are getting ready to go green. If you're just joining in, we thank you for joining us here on Thursday night. Hasn't been too busy of a broadcast. Sometimes you got to have those. That makes the good ones even that much sweeter. McCall Jr. gets rolling. Boy, he sure started out the year hot, hasn't he? Well inside the top 10. Battle for the PC over at the FEG Money Racing side. See if he can get a little more over here at OSR. For anybody that's wondering what saying to yourself, what does OSR stand for? I asked myself this question at first. Thinking about it though, it's not too bad. It's old school racing. Definitely got a lot of the original guys in here. If you're looking to start it, talked about it, but you know who the owner is. Autumn Koger out of Asheville, McCall Motorsports driver and then OSR owner. David Sheets, one of the McCall Motorsports drivers that wasn't in the first race, but he is in this one out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. He's going to be looking to make some noise. Seemed a little antsy in the chats today. I think think he was ready to race tonight. Sad he couldn't make the first one, but he's definitely ready for the second one here. I'll tell you what, I think we are going to see a lot of aggression, especially with the last one having pit stops. Only 4 drivers were on the lead lap. A lot of these drivers that were in that last one, they're hungry. They want to get after it. Andrew, we talked about earlier, so I do apologize, Andrew, that I couldn't say your last name, but I'll tell you what, that is my favorite looking car tonight. Look at this paint scheme. Beautiful looking 88 car. Very, very, very nice looking. Bring back horsepower. It says 1-inch spoiler, 900 ponies. Gotta assume he's referring to one of the older versions of one of the stock cars. Gotta say I agree with you on that. Either way, the pace car is going to pull off. Ken McCall Jr.'s got the field in line. They're ready to go. We're going to take a look at it from the blimp cam. Actually, we'll do pit lane. Start it off with pit lane. Rolling up to the Geico restart zone now. Starter's got the flag in hand. He waves it. Green flag is out here at Talladega. Race 2 of 2 in OSR Money Racing. Jeff Mert gets a pretty good restart, was able to hang with the 03. 11 gets to his bumper pretty quick. I'll tell you what, it looks like the 11 already has just a smidge. Back of that car, maybe not, maybe just the design. Nope, yeah, he does. Back of that car already beat down just a little bit. Some early damage for Danny Eshelman. Ken McCall Jr. still leading the inside, though. Nobody making a move yet. The outside fell back pretty far. Can't get the momentum going just yet. Now Autumn Koger jumps to the 3rd lane, thinks twice about it. She's going to duck back down in line. Ooh, James Kaufman washes up. Oh, I don't know if he was able to save it. He keeps it together somehow. I couldn't even tell who that was. They are still 3 and 4 wide back here trying to sort it out. We got to back up and watch what happened here. That's a pretty darn good save. I thought he lost it. Looked like James Kaufman, I think, is going to wash up into someone right here. Looking at slow motion. Oh, it's going to be the 60, Jeff Merck. See, James Kaufman washes up into him. Bumps him. That sends Jeff up the track. He tries to get it back down here, and sometimes when you do that, gets that car real unsteady. The car does not like that. And right here, oh, yeah, look how sideways he is already. Comes down, knows he can't hit Kaufman. He's going to jerk it back up. Now he's just working the wheel here. Ron Morris Jr. does a good job not hitting him. He is going to go up. It looks like, ooh, just barely scraped the wall. That should not hurt him at all. Good job by all these people early. I thought that might have been our first caution of the night after we saw the last race go green all the way. Ken McCall Jr. still leading. 88, Andrew and John have both made their way up. That's just a 2-car tandem for the moment. John Ward doing a really nice job pushing. And here comes the 3rd lane. Looks like it's going to be Ron Morris Jr. leading. Autumn Koger. Danny Eshelman thought about jumping up. Maybe couldn't quite do it in time. Side by side down the back stretch. We've completed 2 laps and they are already 3 wide. Sean Hill on the bottom pushing his teammate, the 13 of Dylan Jones. Hasn't decided where to go now. John Ward pushes the 88 clear. That's new leader. Andrew doing a nice job early. I haven't seen him. I haven't not seen Andrew in a race I've done yet. And he's putting it to a lot of these veterans here early. You see the 92 of John Ward getting close to getting clear. Going to be a tough battle. Ken McCall Jr. pushing. See what Danny Eshelman can do. Finally, the top lane is going to make it all the way up. Ron Morris Jr. trying to make a run with teammate Autumn Koger. You see the 92 drop down. Ooh, Danny's washing up just a little bit. Ron has to go about a lane up. That's going to break the momentum for the moment. Wide, a little further back. Haven't seen too much noise yet. Some of the guys that I know we will later on, such as Daniel Everhart. See Daniel in that middle lane. Oh, little bit of a bump there from Sean Hill. Daniel's going to get right out of that. Once no part of it falls all the way back. That was close. A lot of really close calls early. Everybody keeping it together. But we got to settle down, boys. We got a long ways to go still. No pit stop, but I'll tell you what, 22 laps around a giant 2.66 mile super speedway is plenty of time. And nobody wanting to wait in line at all. Jeff Merck now going to try his luck on the top lane, see if he can get it going. No, we did not do a crank it up tonight. Just realized how loud this was. You guys got to let me know in the chat if that's the case. I will not know unless you tell me. Still 3x3 middle lane starting to fade now. John Ward feeling pretty comfortable. He's got a steady lead. Oh, James Kaufman washes up. Keeps it together. These cars are dancing around a lot tonight. Didn't think there'd be a problem. Weather not really a factor. No wind. It is a little hot and slick though. These cars usually wiggle around a little bit more. And they are 4 wide. Ken McCall Jr. and they're going to wreck out back. Sean Hill's in it. James Kaufman's in it. First caution of the night. Looks like Mark Von Dell just squeaks by. Sean Hill and James Kaufman get rolling just now. Doug Pierce, ooh, big damage to the 39 car. He's going to have to go get that repaired. That's our first caution of the night. Not where I thought it was going to happen. We saw 4 wide up front. First, we got to take a look at this move by Ken McCall Jr. I mean, this just got kind of wild all of a sudden. Let's go to TV1. And we'll go up to Ken here because this is what I first want to see. It looks like, not sure if he was getting hot or just decided he was ready to go. See him pull high right here on his teammate. Looks like he's kind of hanging. Not sure if he thought the 88 would go down with him. What the deal was. Doesn't really get all the way up. So they're just going to go 4 wide. But that was probably good timing for Ken. I thought this was surely where the wreck was going to happen. Everybody up here, though, does a nice job not making any contact with each other. Maybe a little bit in that top lane, but that's not where this wreck starts. You see it further back. We'll actually back it up a little bit more so we can take a real good look at it. Looks like it does start with James Kaufman and Doug Pierce. Look at it from TV2 right here. How about 3? How's 3 look? Take a look at 1. I like 1 the best, I think, here. So they're already on the apron. I'm not sure if James didn't like what he was seeing with the 4 wide. But either way, he's going to... Yeah, he has a big check up here almost. Gets on this apron here following the 13. Doug Pierce comes down. You see him. He's out of the throttle. Just doesn't get out of it enough. Clips James Kaufman. That sends him up into Sean Hill. 39 is going to hit the 25 again. Sean Hill's got it locked down. Fortunately, he's not going to be able to avoid another hit from the 25. To the back half, the left side. And nothing there on Doug Pierce. Just a racing deal. You could see it out of the back pipes. Wasn't trying to get up into him. He was letting off the gas. Just a little bit too late. Sometimes it's hard to get these cars woed up. But our first caution of the night comes about 5 laps in. So we will go back green, it looks like, as the pace car lights are still on with 16 to go, if I had to guess. Not sure if that should not eliminate anyone. We do have a decent amount of takers here on pit road. Everyone does have a fast repair. A lot of drivers should take that, and they'll be back in contention. Mark Von Dell, the last car currently staying out. And Mark is about due here for a win as well. McCall Motorsports driver has solid runs. Just little mistakes sometimes can take Mark out of it. He's a great driver, though. He's bound to get one here sooner or later. David Sheets currently running 9th. Teammate right in front of him, Autumn Koger, she is currently 8th. But let's talk about your top 5. First is John Ward. 2nd, Ken McCall Jr. 3rd, Andrew. 4th, Jeff Merck. And 5th is Ron Morris Jr. And we said how there was no pit stops. That doesn't mean nobody's going to pit. If you are at the back of this field, I promise you, you are going and getting yourself some fresh tires. As handling already shown to be just a little bit of an issue with as much as everybody was wiggling around. So a lot of these, probably the back, maybe the back quarter, it's probably the more realistic back half-ish. All those drivers do go into pit, get themselves some fresh tire, and top off on fuel. You probably don't need any, but if we start going into a couple overtimes, could be handy for sure. Sean Ward's got that McCall Motorsports logo all over this car. We saw it pretty good amount on his truck. But I think we see it even more here on the car. So if you can't figure out on the track that that 92 drives from McCall Motorsports, you might have some bigger problems. Very impressed so far with what I've seen from the 88 though so far tonight. Newer driver showing a lot of speed, putting it to some of these veterans, some of the drivers we see in here more often. If you're just joining in, we thank you for tuning in here. Not too busy of a night. Some just good little fun racing though here on a Thursday night. It was an OSR doubleheader. Ron Morris Jr. came home with the first one. Sean Hill looked like he had it for a while. Unfortunately got turned by the 60. So far this race, his luck has not been any nicer to him. He's still sitting on pit road. Not sure if he... Did not look like he had too bad a damage, so I wouldn't imagine he used a fast repair. And you see it here, just getting those tires. Talked about it, might as well have the tires if you can get them for free with no penalty. Daniel Eberhardt not making too many moves just yet. His teammate, however, Dylan Jones, is up to 7th. Dylan always kind of flies under the radar. I don't know if it's because of his paint schemes, just how quiet he is. He is a dangerous driver, nonetheless. He is currently over at FEG, I believe. I don't know if he is leading, but he is in the top 5 in that battle for the PC. So that means he is one of the top 5 most earning drivers so far in 2023 in money racing. See the pace car lights off. We are going to go green this time. We'll see if Ken McCall Jr. and John Ward decide to coordinate anything or if they're just going to race. If I know those two as much as I think I do, I don't think we're going to see any coordination here. Those two are going to both throttle it up. Whoever gets the bigger run will take it. Jeff Merck on that outside. He's certainly going to try to push the 03 clear, get himself in position. And I don't know if we'll even get to see one lap before we see 3 wide. We saw it quick last time. Seems like that outside kind of gets wound up the most on that first lap. That's when the momentum's swinging around the most. Something interesting with these cars and with the trucks. For some reason, you could be right beside the other cars and you just can't generate momentum the same way you can if you fall back a bit. You could push the exact same way if you want. Just kind of interesting how that works. So we've seen some of the drivers playing around with that just a little bit more in recent races. Pace car dives to the inside. We'll take a look at this one from the blimp cam. See if we see any stack up effects. No 3 wide rule. You see Sean Hill pretty far back. He's going to get rolling. Green flag is back out. Pretty even restart. The advantage is going to go to John Ward though for the moment. 88, Andrew finds his bumper nice and quickly. John got to be feeling pretty good about that as they work their way into turn 1. The inside's got all the momentum. What will John do? Does he decide to go high? That outside's going to be coming with a head of steam. Jeff Merck's locked onto the 03's bumper. Ron Morse Jr. washes up just a little bit. That's going to give Ken McCall Jr. a side draft. Now the 88 jumps high. Gets left 3 wide. Now Dylan Jones is going to jump to the middle. And just like that, we are 3x3. Ken McCall Jr. gets clear on that top lane. We'll see if he decides to drop down. Doesn't. Looks like he's... Oh, he is. He's going to stay up there. Don't know how I feel about that decision from Ken. He must like his pushing partner. Jeff Merck, certainly one of the better pushers. Doing a good job. They may not need it. You see the 88 gets clear. We'll see if he decides to drop low. He does. He brings Dylan Jones with him. He's going to put Danny Eschelman and Daniel Eberhardt in the middle. Now Danny by himself. Oh no, Ken dives to the inside. Doesn't get any help. Now he finds a teammate in Autumn Koger. 3 wide already. 15 laps to go. You wouldn't know. You'd think we're on 1 to go with the action right now. It looks like a couple of these cars are a little more beat up than I thought. One of those being Daniel Eberhardt. You see his front right. He's got a decent amount of damage. Didn't use their fast repairs. He probably thinks they're going to wreck again. Wouldn't be too surprised. That 90 doesn't look like it'd be the fastest machine if it were to get out in front and draft. Pretty good at equalizing damage such as that. Not too major. David Sheets now. You saw him in the back jump into that top lane. Maybe thinking about a 3-wide run here if he can get his teammate Sean Hill behind him. Call Motorsports leading the outside. 88 Andrew leading the inside. Dylan Jones kind of trapped right now, so even if his teammate in Daniel Eberhardt gets something, nowhere to go. Ooh, looks like Daniel looked to dive to the middle lane, get around Danny Eshelman, couldn't do it. To the outside now, Jeff Merckx working it. Oh, we got one car on the apron. That looked like it was Mark Vondell. I think he keeps it together. He does. Comes back up the track. No issues, though. He's going to drop back a little bit, but those 3 cars should be able to get back up here as long as they're working together and stay single file. Ken McCall Jr. has now dropped to the bottom lane. That's going to put McCall Motorsports in pretty comfortable position right now, leading the bottom and top. If anybody wants it, they're going to have to go to the 3rd lane. We'll see who decides to do it first. Jeff Merckx still trying to do it. Doesn't get any help. Wouldn't be surprised. Daniel Eberhardt or Danny Eshelman decide to go up. Nothing yet. Still side by side down the backstretch. 13 laps to go. We've seen a lot of good action so far. Take a ride on board with one of these drivers in the middle. Oh, and just as we say that, Eshelman is going to get partly turned. Looks like he kept it together. What a save from the driver of the 11 car. Still trying to keep it together. He does, and once these guys sort it all out, we'll go have to take a look at that one. Nicely done. Let's go see what happens here. Back this up a bit. He may have gotten tapped from someone. This happens about halfway down the backstretch. So that gives you an idea of just how hard it is to get slowed down. Take a look from TV1 here. Watch it in slow motion. Well, he's already hooked here, actually, so we'll go back just a little farther. We'll actually look from the chopper cam, I think. That way we can all see what happens. Oh, it looks like it's just going to be a stack-up effect. And sure enough, C11's already on the bumper. Daniel Eberhardt's trying to push, can't usually push the pusher. And that hooks Danny Eshelman. Boy, that car was a lot more sideways than it looked like initially. So was Daniel Eberhardt. He collects it. David Sheets does a nice job missing him. And that is what caused a lot of this behind. We'll go to TV3. See Ron Morris Jr. The car on the apron. He's going to have to work his way back up. And he does. Either way, we'll go back live, though, now. Current leader is still Ken McCall Jr. in the 03 car. Autumn Koger has now found her way to the inside lane. That's going to put John Ward, another McCall Motorsports driver, in the top line. David Sheets, the 3rd car on the outside. He's up here now. Jeff Merckx 3-wide moves paid off once they all shuffled out. 2nd car line. He knows, though, if he makes a move, he's not going to get any help from the car directly behind him. Might get some help, though, from Danny Eshelman and Daniel Eberhardt. We'll see if they decide to go. We are come to 10 laps to go, and there they go, Danny Eshelman. Daniel Eberhardt jumping to the 3rd lane. We'll see if Jeff Merckx decides to go with him. He sees the run coming, stays tucked in line for the moment. Nothing yet. Might try to wait just a little bit longer before until they get all the way up there, rather. Third lane, David Sheets now has also jumped. Isn't going to get the help, though, as Daniel Eberhardt jumped back down to the middle. That car is running pretty fast. The damage looks worse the more you look at it. Not affecting, though, so who cares, I guess. Through the tri-oval, Autumn Koger trying to do everything she can to keep her teammate out in front. Jeff Merckx trying to get that 92 clear. Looks like he's going to. John Ward fills in that gap. That's going to put Jeff Merckx on the outside. Ken McCall Jr. very well might jump up here, try to keep McCall Motorsports in control, and that's exactly what he does. We'll see what Jeff Merckx decides to do. He is going to push. Thought for a second he might think 3 wide. Ken McCall Jr., oh, he's going to have to drop down. You saw Jeff was pushing with everything he had. Says, hey, man, if you get up here, I'll push you. When you get clear, you better go down. Now it's going to put Daniel Eberhardt in control of Jeff Merckx's fate. We'll see what happens. 3 wide further back, Danny Eshelman trying to recover. No dice just yet. We're starting to slowly close in on the end of this thing. If you are towards the back, drivers such as Doug Pierce, Dylan Jones, you got to start thinking about when you're going to make your move. Mark Vondell as well. Ken McCall Jr. jumps back to the top lane. This is where they got to be a little careful. These are where some of those games start to be played. McCall Motorsports trying to control both lanes, doing a nice job. However, some of the guys behind him are going to get real antsy, try to go to that third lane. If they could get another car up there to block that third lane. Ooh, John Ward washes off the track. We got a lot of fire coming out of the tailpipes, a lot of checkups. We keep it clean. That's going to shuffle things up a little bit. When that top line gets a run, they might have a run that no one can stop. I'll tell you what, Daniel Eberhardt, for being the only car behind Jeff Merck right now, trying real hard to get him clear. Not quite going to happen. They need that third car. They're going to get it right here with the 88. That's Andrew. 7 laps to go here at Talladega and OSR Money Racing doubleheader night. John Ward now looking to the top lane. Ken McCall Jr. sees it. He's not going to block. Stays low. How many times will Jeff Merck take it before he decides to go 3 wide? Got to think it's on the last lap. He will go gladly right up around. Oh, he's going to go back down low now. Got to be careful. A lot of swerving going on. Pushing starting to get more and more aggressive. Push as hard as you want on the straights, but you can't push in the turns. John Ward now goes back to the top lane again. Daniel Eberhardt gets back to the bumper, the 60. Oh, Jeff Merck trying to check up. Daniel Eberhardt does not look too pleased with where he's at right now. He is pushing the bumper off of that 60 car. We are seeing something that we don't see too often in general, and that's the idea of controlling both lanes, which is what John Ward and Ken McCall Jr. have both been trying. Fortunately, though, Autumn Koger is the only car now behind Ken McCall Jr. on that inside. They're really going to need to get some help. James Kaufman is making his way up there, but it might just be too little, too late. You see Autumn locked on. She's doing everything she can for the moment. John Ward gets clear, decides not to take it. That helps his teammate out on the bottom. The 25 still not quite able to get there. 92 trying to defend the runs on the top. We haven't seen 3 wide just yet. Looks like Jeff Merck finally thinks about it. No, Daniel Eberhardt's going to go to the middle. That's going to put John Ward down to the middle line. Jeff Merck gets shuffled out. Danny Eshelman thinking about going with him. We'll see what Daniel Eberhardt decides to do now into turn 1. 5 to go. Got to think that 90's thinking 3 wide, but maybe not. He's got some damage on the front. Don't know how well that car is going to do out in clean air. Still no move yet. Everyone's thinking about it. Who's going to be the person to do it? If I'm Doug Pierce, I think I like my chances. I got 2 guys behind me that you can tell want to go. If he jumps out, he might get that help. If you can be the first car in that third lane, you got a good shot at it. Looks like he is going to wait, though. Jeff Merck sizing him up at the moment. Up front, though, still John Ward. Unfortunately, he did have to drop down to the bottom lane. Now Daniel Eberhardt has made his way to side by side, being pushed by Andrew. Coming to 4 to go this time. Remember, if we can get to that white flag, no more cautions. The 06 rather, of David Sheets. We'll see if he decides to go to the third lane. Oh, the 92 is going to wash it up. It's got to be a little careful. It's a nice move. It wasn't a late block, but Daniel Eberhardt's going to push him with everything he's got now. 60 of Jeff Merck finds a little bit of a drafting partner in Danny Eshelman. Danny drops back down low. Couldn't quite get enough speed to get up there. Oh, and it looks like Mark Vondell got up there a little late, a little blinking. Danny Eshelman's going to fall back from that issue. We're coming to 3 to go this time. Third lane still not got anything going just yet, but Doug Pierce has jumped up top. That was the guy I picked. Now looks like Daniel Eberhardt is going to do it. John Ward not able to block. Daniel is going to get help from Andrew. It looks like Jeff Merck maybe bumps into Dylan Jones a little bit. Ken McCall Jr. jumps up to that middle lane. He knows his teammate needs help. That's going to put Autumn Koger in charge on the bottom lane. She's got David Sheets now behind her. Pushing, starting to get a little bit more aggressive. All 3 lanes. The 90's got a huge run now. If he gets clear, you got to think he'll take it. Can't quite get clear, though, into turn 3. Ken McCall Jr. Oh, it looks like a little bit of net code right there. That sends Daniel Eberhardt up the track. Keeps it together, and they all keep it together. But now they're going to have to line back up. Daniel Eberhardt's going to have to try to make another charge. Does he have enough time? We're coming to 2 to go this time. And that just looked like a little bit of an incident of netcode. A little bit of a wash-up. Game thought they'd collide. They didn't. 2 to go this time. David Sheets now jumps back up to the top lane. If he goes 3 wide, I think he will get some help from the 88. Looks like he might be sizing it up right here. Daniel Eberhardt's got a huge run. We'll see what happens here. It looks like David Sheets is going to go up top to try to block it. Does a nice job of it. That's going to put McCall Motorsports in charge of all 3 lanes right now. Rest of the field got to be thinking what to do here. Nowhere to go. 92 of John Ward got clear for maybe just a second. No chance in going down low right now. They could get a 1-2-3 finish if they're careful right here. Out of turn 4, we will take the white flag this time as long as we can make it. Daniel Eberhardt pushes David Sheets clear, doesn't take it. Now he's going to try 4 wide through the trial. Oh, there's a little bit of contact, more contact. They're spinning. Oh, they take the flag. No caution. Holy moly, huge wreck. No caution. We got to go back up front for now, though. Dylan Jones now's got the lead. He's got the 88. David Sheets to the outside. What can he do? He's got Mark Von Dell. A couple cars back. Don't know if he has enough time. 88 now lines up. Here comes the 25 of James Kaufman. Mark Von Dell, Doug Pierce also going to tuck back down in line. Working their way into turn 3 for the final time. That 13's got a little bit of damage on the front. That might affect him at the worst possible time. We'll see what David Sheets decides to do. He's drafting right now. Got to think maybe he's waiting. He's saving it. I don't think he's going to get help in time from behind. Now the 06 dives to the outside. The 88 stays tucked in line. No help from behind. Dylan Jones is going to win it at Talladega. A borderline caution in terms of if we would have had that wreck at 100 feet shorter, caution probably would have came out. And that cost a lot of guys the race. We're going to have to go back and take a look at it. We'll do that. While Dylan Jones is coming around, we'll take a look at your results. First place tonight, Dylan Jones. Second is going to go to Andrew. Third, David Sheets. Fourth, James Kaufman. Fifth, Mark Von Dell. Sixth is going to go to Doug Pierce. Seventh, Jeff Merck. Eighth, Autumn Koger. Ninth, Danny Eshelman. 10th, John Ward. 11th, Ron Morris Jr. 12th, Sean Hill. 13th is going to Daniel Eberhardt III. And 14th, Ken McCall Jr. Dylan Jones, we will unfortunately not be able to get an interview with us. I know he does not sit in any of the channels. But we got to go back and take a look at this last lap because it was absolutely crazy. One of the most violent, not necessarily biggest, but one of the most violent wrecks right at the end there. And I thought maybe they would draw the caution, but they just they started wrecking but didn't completely finish wrecking until they crossed the white. Once we hit that white flag, the rule is no more caution. So they get 4 wide here. I think this is Daniel Eberhardt saying, hey, man, I've had enough. You guys have kind of been throwing a couple things that we're not used to seeing. Not bad blocks, just really smart play. Sometimes that can get a little irritating for drivers behind. Either way, though, it doesn't do a bad move. Does a pretty smart move here. 4 wide in the trial usually works pretty well. Let's go to Daniel here and see what happens. We'll have to, I'm not sure what view to look at here. I guess we'll have to go real slow with it. So he knows if he's going to try to get it, he's going to get it now. Does a pretty nice job here. Actually gets down. It looks like there is a hole there. And then David Sheets, ooh, unfortunately looks like David Sheets is coming back down the track right here. They're going to make some contact. David wasn't coming down too much, but either way, they make slight contact. It's going to start jumbling them up. Oh, Ken McCall Jr. barely gets hooked there. But then when Daniel Eberhardt's coming back down, trying to keep it together, this is where they're both going to finally get involved. A lot of people wrecking right here. Watch this impact, though. Ken McCall Jr. slams the wall and then hits Daniel Eberhardt. They both go flipping miraculously. 90 lands back down. Ken McCall Jr. still flipping. This thing gets ugly. See Daniel Eberhardt actually also still flipping for the moment. Pretty wild ride for both of those drivers. Finally he's able to land back on all 4. Don't know if I can say the same for Ken here. He is still flipping. Not sure if this took out. I believe it did take out. Yeah, you see Autumn was involved. Jeff Merck was also involved, and that was it. But let's take a ride on board Ken McCall Jr. because this was a wild one. I have not seen Ken go for a ride like this in quite a while. Cockpit view riding here. Ken McCall, here we go. All that, and he lands on his roof anyway, and it doesn't end up mattering. And then we'll go back up front here to the end of this lap. We'll go up. And didn't we say it was all quiet but dangerous? Look who made their way up there and actually won it. Didn't think about it at the time, but sure enough, Dylan Jones found a way to get himself another one. Speed this up. And the trouble here, the 88, seems like he's just committed at this point. Not a bad strategy. David Sheets goes to the outside, just didn't have any help from his teammates, just too little, too late. Right here, I thought maybe the 88 would try one more shot at it. Doesn't. Just keeps himself in line. Happy to bring home a second place finish. Still plenty of money. And that's what your finish is going to look like right there. Don't forget, we'll say it one more time. Next week, Wednesday, February 1st, is the start of FEG PC Speed Week. We'll get that link out as soon as possible. But we will be streaming the Wednesday and Thursday race, ARCA, and then Xfinity Series. Don't want to miss out on those. Friday is the big race. I want to thank everybody that did come out tonight. I know it was a smaller stream, smaller audience, but nonetheless, the drivers certainly appreciate it. That'll be it for me tonight here on Ghost Racing Network. I'll see you next time.